In a previous video, we looked at one of the reasons why my washers were actually failing, and I was trying to find out what was happening when I was using tank water. So I tested tank water to bottled water and tap water, and came up with some interesting conclusions. Tank water was actually at fault. Well, here is the update to that particular video. Now, I got a message from Anthony on that particular video who says, why don't you try boiling the tank water? Well, it's an obvious solution. Why didn't I think of it earlier? So, okay, I decided that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's what this video is about. I'm going to boil the tank water and run a fermentation to see if it was the tank water or the lack of the tank water being boiled, which was the actual problem. Okay, we're gathering 20 litres of tank water. This is just standard flat tank water, and these are 20 litres. We're going to put that straight into the urn in a second, and we'll boil that up to see how we go. Now, you can see here it's night time. I'm doing this specifically at night time for one simple reason. I'm going to give the urn a chance to boil for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then turn it off, and it's going to cool down overnight, because I want it to be about 30 degrees before I put it into the fermentation chamber. Well, it's the next day now, so now I'm in the process of taking that 20 litres out of my urn. It's cooled down significantly, and it's ready and capable of being put into my fermentation chamber. Now, I've already put the diammonium phosphate and the Epsom salts and the citric acid into there. I'm now just adding the sugar. I'm going to give it a good old stir at the moment to make sure it's completely dissolved. Now, in the other room, I already have my yeast activating. So here, I'm putting the yeast in. I'm using this as a baker's yeast brew. So I'm putting the yeast in, give it a good old stir around, and make sure that it's integrated with that wash. And then we're ready to see what's going to happen, hey? Okay, putting it to bed for a while. This is where we're going to see what is actually happening, whether or not boiling was the solution for my tank water. Okay, my airlock, I'm putting it on the top there, and let's just see what happens. We'll start the waiting process now. So here we are the next day, and as you can see, it's bubbling. Beaut. Okay, time lapse. Here is 2 days later, and it's bubbling again. Brilliant. 3 days later, still bubbling. It looks like the answer was obvious, doesn't it? Now, that stuff that falls from the cloud is absolutely pure and clean. Now, what was happening was a problem with my roof and my tank, and that was actually contaminating water. So boiling the water gave me the answer for why my washers were stalling.